Everybody? Great. Okay, so linked list, obviously you have two parts. One is going to be the pointer pointing to the next part, and the other one is actually going to be the data, right? So what free does is you're going to have this piece of data somewhere in your code, and you're like, okay, cool, I don't need this anymore. So free is essentially going to add this to your linked list, and when you malloc, it's going to pull from that linked list, and if you don't have anything, then it's going to go to the heap. So this piece of data is going to be free, right? We're going to call free or my free or whatever it is on it. So this is going to go to what do you guys call it? Free head, whatever. Let's call it free head. So free head is a pointer, and it starts off and it points to null, right? Okay, so first off, free head points to null, but now we have this block and we want to malloc, we want to free it, and by freeing it, we want to add it to free head. So how do you add something to a linked list? Where do you add it to? Correct. The front. Because if you add it to the tail, then you'd have to traverse down the entire linked list and then add it. Or in this case, you can't do null.next. That doesn't make sense. So what you want to do is you stick this guy here, and then this guy is going to be pointing to whatever free head points to. In this case, it's null. So this guy's going to point to null. Now we're going to move the pointer of free head to point to the new one. If we add another one in, then we're going to do the same thing. This now points to here, and we move the pointer for free head down to there. Make sense? Okay, so now we get to malloc. So what malloc is going to do is, first off, it's going to look to see if we can malloc anything in this linked list. If not, then we're going to go to the heap, and I believe that section of the code is given to you guys, right? So if it goes to the heap, you already have a piece of code that goes through the heap and checks to see if there's a piece of data. If it is, it returns that piece of data. Great. Okay, so if we're mallocing, what we want to do is we want to go and check to see if all these guys have a piece of data that is that's big enough for size, right? Because you're calling malloc on size. Okay, so like I said before, these are made up of two things. One is going to be some metadata at the beginning, and can you tell me what's that going to be made out of?
Incident pointer.
Sorry, what?
An incident pointer.
Incident pointer, exactly. So int, the int is, well, you call it whatever, but I call it size because it says the size of this guy. So this is size. And that basically tells you how big this guy is. And this is the actual pointer so really your pointer starts here and it points to the next piece of data. So when you're actually mallocing something, you don't want this metadata, right? This metadata is only there for when it's in the linked list. That's the only reason for it. So when you're doing free, you want to be adding this piece of metadata to it and then putting it into the linked list. But when you malloc something, you want to remove the metadata and return it. So if this is an int and a pointer, how many bytes is that metadata going to be? 16. Yeah, because it has to be aligned to 8 bytes. So what's the best way to represent this metadata? Since it's two items. A struct. So you have some struct, whatever, and then you have int, size, and your pointer, or whatever. And your pointer points to the next guy. Fantastic. Okay, so when we're going through malloc, how are we going to traverse? How are we going to traverse the linked list? There's a few different ways of doing it, but in general terms, you want a loop. It's going to be a loop, right? Because you have to go over the entire linked list. You could do it recursively, I guess, but let's say we're going to do it in a loop. So we're going to loop until what? Until we don't have any more. So until no more nodes. And then if the node has block with size equals size, like that size, then great. Actually, no, that's the size. So if the node has the block with enough data for it, so say we're mallocating 16, what is the size of one of these guys going to be in order to return it to get 16 usable bytes?
Greater than or equal to 16?
No, it's the size of the data is going to be greater than or equal to 16, but because of the metadata,
Oh,
it's another 16 bytes,
32,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to be searching for something that's 32 bytes because there's that metadata. When we return it, we're just going to scrap the metadata. So basically shifting the pointer by 16 bytes and then returning just that chunk, right? So then because we've got rid of the metadata, then we're just returning a 16 byte chunk of code. If we found it, return block without metadata. Right? Make sense? And that's pretty much it, actually. So quickly, let's go over how exactly linked list is going to work for this. Because you have a block, you have a few blocks, and this is head, and this is null. So a few problems I've seen students go through is that when what if you want to return, okay, what if we want to return this guy? What's the operations? So you want to take this and you want to pull it out. So what do you have to do?
Store it in the temp and then manipulate values.
Yeah. So this guy is going to be what you're returning. So yeah, you can call it, like outval or whatever. Doesn't matter. And then yeah, you're gonna stitch this guy out, right? And then remove this out of the block and return it. Then when you get rid of the metadata is what holds the pointer. So then the pointer is going to be gone. Okay. But what if it's the beginning? So what if you're looking for this guy and you find it and you want to return this? So there's nothing to stitch over it to point to here, right? So what are you going to do?
You move that.
Yeah. So you move head like that, and then outval is going to be this guy. What if it's the last piece? It's the same thing. So if you want to return this guy, you want to stitch this to the next one. So you're just going to have it point to null, and then this comes out. Does that make sense? So that's the basic pseudocode, which I think will get you started in the right direction. Hopefully that clears it up a bit. Is there any questions that don't completely give the answer away?
So the linked list was supposed to just store the pointer?
Well, the pointer is what is the linked list. You can't have the linked list without the pointer. And the size is going to be referring to how much data is being stored altogether. Okay. Sound good? A little bit more clear?